So. Oh, ich sollte vielleicht die Kamera mal ein bisschen umsetzen. Am Moment. Aber heiße euch trotzdem schon mal herzlich willkommen bei meinem abendlichen Stream. Moment. Ja. Nein, das ist die falsche Kamera. Moment. Also beim abendlichen Stream. Hab mir überlegt, ich fange mal wieder mit Vampyr an. Schon etwas länger her, dass ich das gemacht habe, gespielt habe. Ich glaube, ich komme jetzt nicht in den Untertitel später rein. Ich weiß gar nicht mehr, warum ich aufgehört habe zu spielen. Nicht, weil es so horrorartig war. Ich glaube, ich habe irgendwelche Sachen, die ich brauchte, habe ich einfach nicht gefunden, habe dann einfach aufgegeben und habe dann gesagt, Gara, leck mich am Arsch. Ähm, Man spielt hier im Jahre 1918, steht ja da. Man spielt einen Arzt, der als Vampir aufwacht und der seinen Erschaffer sucht. Man hatte hier in dem Spiel die Möglichkeit, zu versuchen, menschlich zu bleiben. Also man ist zwar trotzdem ein Vampir, aber man versucht halt möglichst keine Leute zu beißen, auszusaugen. Zumindest keine guten. Ähm, oder man hat halt die Möglichkeit und knabbert an jeden einfach mal ein bisschen rum. Ähm, Insofern ist das wichtig, wenn man halt nur halt die Gegner, sage ich jetzt mal, anknabbert und vielleicht hin und wieder die eine oder andere Ratte, auch wenn hier steht, während des Spiels, wegen der Entwicklung des Spiels ist keine Ratte zu Schaden gekommen. Im Spiel selbst können sehr viele Ratten zu Schaden kommen. Ähm, ja, genau, also ähm, wenn man halt nur das macht, dann wird das Spiel nicht allzu schwer. Ähm, Es wird zwar natürlich einige Schwierigkeiten geben, man wird auch nicht ganz so stark dann aber auch sein manchmal. Während man, wenn man halt eher der Böse ist, sage ich jetzt mal, seiner animalischen Seite, seiner vampirischen Seite Luft lässt, dann tauchen wesentlich mehr Gegner auf, es wird auch alles etwas schwieriger und also man muss da halt schon sich überlegen, wie man das am besten macht. Also, ähm, unten links steht, rechts steht es ja schon, übernimm die Verantwortung für deine Taten. So. Na, für mich selbst ist die Helligkeit so okay. Wie sie jetzt für euch ist, weiß ich nicht. Das kann ich leider nicht sehen. So, Stimme auf jeden Fall immer schön laut. Musik setze ich mal ein bisschen runter. SFX aus. Die Filmsequenzen, ja, die lasse ich auch mal auf 10. Gameplay. Was haben wir denn da? Autolog? Ach, das können wir jetzt, glaube ich, so lassen. Die Controller-Steuerung. Was haben wir denn da? Vampir-Sinne in den Band ziehen. L1 und L2. Vampirsinne, medizinische Untersuchung. R1, R2. Gehen wir davon aus, dass die Vampirsinne wahrscheinlich halt in dem Fall R1 bzw. L1 sind. Und anderes medizinische Untersuchung und den Band ziehen. Gegenstand wäre. Hm? Werde ich sowieso wahrscheinlich wieder alles später vergessen, das ist auch ein Teil davon bestimmt. Den Rest können wir so lassen. Wahre Untertitel, größere 10 Beispiele vielleicht. Hm. Beispiel gibt es leider nicht, dann lassen wir das so. So, neues Spiel. Da haben wir den Story-Modus. Spiele Vampir mit wenig Herausforderungen. In diesem Modus. Die sollte man rechtzeitig wegmachen. In diesem Modus wirst du nicht das volle Spielerlebnis haben, dafür kannst du die Geschichte genießen und fast unbekümmert die Welt erforschen. Kämpfe sind sehr leicht, es gibt keine Belohnung, wenn du diesen Modus beendest, ohne einen Bürger getötet zu haben. Okay. Das originale Vampir, die Charakterentwicklung schreitet schneller voran, wenn du Bürger tötest. Die Schwierigkeit der Kämpfe hängt von der Anzahl der Bürger ab, die du tötest. Oder schwerer Modus, spiele Vampir mit größerer Herausforderung. Deine vampirische Macht hängt von den Bürgern ab, die du aussaugst. Feinde sind schwerer zu besiegen und teilen härter aus. Du erhältst weniger Erfahrungspunkte beim Besiegen deiner Feinde im Kampf. Story könnte unter Umständen zu langweilig sein. Schwer würde ich mich jetzt noch nicht ranwagen. Und man kann natürlich die Schwierigkeitsgrad nicht ändern. Puh. Ja, ich mach mal auf normaler. Dass je öfters ich das ins Leben nehme.
Dreams for the Red Queen under crown of stone. 8 voracious beasts born from 8 restless nights. 4 nails piercing the flesh of the sinner. 1 prayer for the summoned, called by this song. 'Tis perhaps the countdown to oblivion for the once proud city of London. 'Tis perchance her inhabitants' last dance alone to face death and pestilence. Confronted by the eerie and unknown, mortals became desperate for answers. A flock's flight makes for an omen, the falling of a star a dire presage. Turning to priests for interpretation when there was no reason to be found. When religion failed, men turned to science. I saw them build such vain cities, crafting machines made for endless war. New questions flourished as old answers withered. What is darkness but lurking sun? What is wall but enslaved stone? What is glass but tortured sand? What is song but a call to arms? What is hate but jilted love? What is life but death pending?
Death. Since the apple was plucked from the sacred tree, mortality was believed to be God's punishment, a righteous snare to keep mankind from ascending to the stars. They were all so wrong. Death is not a wicked thing, nor some holy retribution. A true punishment would be to never know its sweet kiss. Awaken from the harshness and be born once more.
Ja, schönes Erwachen.
Thirsty. So thirsty.
Und hab's.
My sweet brother. What have you done?
Mary!
Hm.
No! Mary! Hold on! Please, hold on! Oh, God. Oh, no. Mary. Mary. No. 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 This horror. It's a nightmare. No! Please, a moment, let me explain!
Jetzt heißt es erstmal flitzen.
These patrols are after me. No! No! Don't shoot! This is a nightmare. I need to get out of here. This can't be happening. There's one of those vermin. No! Please! Stop! I mean you no harm. It's a bloody crime! What's going on? Oh, Mary. What have I done? What's all this about?
Has it fled?
Shit, where'd it go? Now, I can defend myself.
Tricky bastards.
Kill that thing! Who are you? Stay back! Sorry, but you left me no choice. Who are you? Stupid beast!
Boah.
Sorry.
Lachtet ihn ab und sagt sorry.
No, please, stop! Who are you? There's one of them. What do you want? I mean you no harm. I need help. Die, you fucking leech! Please, listen to me.
I can't make any sense of this.
Shut up, beast!
Who are you? What is this all about? What in God's name?
I'll do the rest of the job.
Just leave me.
The sun. It feels like it's burning me to the bone. I need to find somewhere to hide. Right now! Let me go! I need to find shelter. Is anybody there? What is this place?
So, machen wir da erstmal dicht.
The place seems abandoned. I should be safe enough here.
So, dann wollen wir uns hier erstmal umgucken. Da leuchtet doch was. Boah, ist das klein. Blutsauger fürchten sich nicht vor der Sonne, der Feuer und sie verbrennen auch nicht oder werden zu Asche, wenn sie Tageslicht abbekommen. Aber es tut ihnen wirklich höllisch weh. Ich habe persönlich einen Vampir an einen Baum gebunden, um zu sehen, was passiert, wenn die Sonne aufgeht. Seine Haut schwärzte sich in ein paar Minuten, als ob er von innen verbrennen würde. Seine Augen und sein Fleisch schmolzen. Ich sah, wie sich seine unheiligen Knochen bewegten und quietschten, als das Monster den ganzen Tag versuchte, freizukommen. Am Ende war er nur noch eine ausgetrocknete Leiche, die sich aber wieder erholte, nachdem die Sonne hinter dem Horizont untergegangen war. Schnitt ihm den Kopf ab, um ihn schlussendlich zu vernichten. Als ich dasselbe mit Feuer versuchte, verkohlte ein anderer Blutsauger für immer zu Asche. Punkt. Feuer ist die Waffe unserer Wahrbrüder. Man tötet die Biester am besten, indem man sie verbrennt. Aus Kennt eure Feinde von Karl Eldridge, Anführer der Wache von Riven. Nett. Bisschen Kohle. ...1918, ich glaube, da war die spanische Grippe auch unterwegs.
Brother, what have you done?
Mary! Mary!
Oh,
Mary,
und Flashback.
I'm sorry. Whoever did this to us, I will find them.
Moment. So, da liegt eine Leiche rum. Eine Flasche mit Alkohol. Ja, Alk kann man immer gut gebrauchen. So. Ne, die sieht nicht wirklich gut aus.
Wait, this one's dressed up fancy. Let's run through his pockets.
Picking the dead's pockets? Are you serious?
I've still a rent to pay. He's got no more responsibilities. What's this? Gold watch.
Beautiful it is. We fancy it and share the takings.
I suppose they are undertakers. Now, give him an Eve.
That's impossible.
Dreams for the Red Queen that sleeps under crown of stone, that she might linger longer, her eyes as white as wool.
Who goes there?
A prayer for the summoned by warring song. A child born from darkness must take scent of his power.
Who's there? Are you referring to me? No! No! I still have so much to accomplish. I still have so much left that needs doing.
Was der Heck? Moment. So, nochmal 5 Schilling. Da hat sich einer erschossen. Nein, schon, doch nicht ganz so lange her. Ja, ist definitiv noch nicht so lange her. Immerhin hat er noch die Leiche starten gehabt.
Johnny, this one's lost. We need to leave. And now! There's time. I can save him.
That's the enemy coming! The orders are to evacuate the hospital!
He'll live. And now what? We fight. Killing is a hell of a lot easier than healing. No, it never got easy.
Das stimmt. Entschuldigung, 15. Oktober, schlecht geschlafen. Becky hat die ganze Nacht lang gehustet und das Fieber lässt sie fantasieren. Am Morgen hörte ich großen Lärm. Kommt von einer riesigen Maschine, die ein paar Männer zum Ufer gebracht haben. Ein großes Loch zu graben. Eine Art Schaufellader. Vielleicht könnte ich zu ihnen gehen und nach Arbeit fragen. Becky braucht Medizin. 16. Oktober, ich habe mit den Männern am Schaufellader geredet. Sie sagten mir, dass sie überall in London Massengräber graben, offenbar Vorsichtsmaßnahmen. Das ist eine neue Epidemie, kommt die Grippe zurück. Sie hatten keine Arbeit für mich. Becky hat letzte Nacht etwas geschlafen, die Gießerei wurde geschlossen und es gibt hier keine Arbeit mehr. 19. Oktober, ich ging nach London, um ein paar Lebensmittel und Medikamente zu finden. Keine Züge. Hat den ganzen Tag gedauert, über die Themse und zurückzukommen. Becky scheint es besser zu gehen. Ich habe Suppe gekocht, die sie gegessen hat. Medizin habe ich keine gefunden. Nur ein paar Spritzen und Schlaftabletten auf dem Schwarzmarkt. Wir haben kein Geld mehr. Vielleicht schaffe ich es morgen ins Cranbrook Hospital zu gehen. Ist aber so weit weg. Und ich habe Angst, meine Frau so lange allein zu lassen. Auch 19. Oktober. Becky hat sich ein paar Stunden nach dem Essen übergeben. Sie ist inzwischen so schwach, dass ich weinen möchte. Sie sagt, bei Nacht höre sie draußen Stimmen. Sie sagt, sie möchte Fleisch essen. Wo soll ich Fleisch hernehmen? Morgen werde ich das Haus gegen Plünderer verbarrikadieren. 21. Oktober. Die Männer mit dem Schaufellader haben aufgehört, das Massengrab auszuheben. Ich habe letzte Nacht Schreie gehört, als ob sie angegriffen wurden. Jetzt gibt es nur noch Boote, die die Tag und Nacht Leichen in das riesige Loch werfen. Der Gestank ist furchtbar. Wir hätten das Haus schon vor ein paar Wochen verlassen sollen, doch Becky, sie weigert sich zu gehen. Sie würde lieber sterben, hat sie mit einem scheußlichen Lächeln gesagt. Wieso quält sie mich so? 22. Oktober. Becky hat mich eben angefallen. Sie hat mich von der Treppe aus angesprungen und hat versucht, mich zu beißen. Ich musste sie schlagen und sie hat zurückgeschlagen. Ich bin nach oben geflüchtet und habe mich im Schlafzimmer eingesperrt. Ich höre sie jetzt unten jammern und etwas murmeln. Ich habe die Waffe geholt, die ich seit dem Krieg zum Schutz des Hauses über der Zimmerdecke versteckt hatte. Ich bin jetzt tatsächlich bereit, sie einzusetzen, um mich vor meiner eigenen Frau zu schützen. 23. Oktober. Ich konnte überhaupt nicht schlafen. Becky hat die ganze Nacht hindurch an der Tür gekratzt. Was war das denn jetzt? An der Tür gekratzt, mich um Hilfe gebeten und angefleht, sie zu öffnen. Aber ich habe zu viel Angst. Ich warte jetzt nur noch auf ihren Tod. Es dauert nicht mehr lang. Ich bete, dass Gott es bald beenden wird. 24. Oktober. Heute Morgen war ich so hungrig. Ich habe versucht runterzugehen. Becky hat in dem Sessel am Kamin gesessen. Sie hat wie ein Hund gehäschelt und mich beobachtet, ohne sich zu bewegen. Nur ihre Augen sind mir durch den Raum gefolgt. Ich habe mit der Waffe auf ihr wundes Gesicht gezielt, doch sie hat nichts getan. Ich konnte nicht abdrücken. Bin zurück in mein Zimmer gegangen. 25. Oktober. Das Haus ist still wie ein Grab. Keine Geräusche mehr. Becky ist jetzt tot. Vergib mir, meine Liebe. Ich konnte dich nicht retten. Ich werde früh genug wieder bei dir sein. Hier noch mehr. Ansonsten war's das. Nase juckt. Gut, das heißt, wir können jetzt eine Runde pennen gehen. Hey, der Witzka.
This makes no sense. None of it. No sense at all. It's a nightmare. That's it. So be it. Rational thinking only.
Ja, erschießen hilft ja nicht.
This is absolute madness. I've lost touch with the real.
Madness it is, as mad as the moon.
Entwicklung. Retten im Unterstoff ermöglichen es dir, dich zu entwickeln und auszuruhen, sammle Erfahrungspunkte, um Stufen aufzusteigen und deine Vampirsinne zu verbessern. Was? Beginne mit der Auswahl der verfügbaren Fähigkeit Autophagie. Autophagie? Gewinnung, Blutbarriere, Klauen, Blutspeer. Ah, da. Autophagie kostet 10, Abklingzeit 3 Sekunden. Du verbrauchst dein eigenes Blut, um deinen normalen und angesammelten Schaden sofort zu heilen. Okay. Nehmen wir denn da Klauen? Lacken, kurze Reichweite. Bereich 2 Meter. 23. Kostet auf jeden Fall aber die höchste Zeit. Ich glaube, ich nehme erstmal die Klauen. Bisschen aufschlitzen.
That voice in my head. If I'm not mad, then it must belong to the one who made me what I am. I must find him to understand what I have become. These people want me dead. I need to leave now.
Here's the leech. Here!
My head's spinning.
Oi! Come out, you coward! Clever fucking beast!
Ist noch irgendwas? So aus.
I'm still in Southwark. I must reach the West End. Go back home. Die, vermin!
Das ist also eher eins.
There's a strength I never knew I had.
This one stinks already. Not been bitten. Watch yourselves! There's one of them!
This shouldn't be possible.
He's being bitten!
Every sinew, every fiber of my being is afire. I feel like a child learning the limits of my body.
Wow.
My strength, my reflexes. I'm not human anymore.
Da liegt nichts, okay. Ja.
My poor sister. If only I had controlled my need for blood.
Ja, zu dem Zeitpunkt wusstest du nicht, was los ist mit dir.
Someone will pay for what happened to you. For what happened to us. I have this thirst for blood. It's locked, all right. I cannot enter. The dizziness from the jump. I can now control it.
Okay, hier liegt irgendwas rum. 5 Schilling. Damals viel, viel Geld.
I can't believe I'm doing this. I have this thirst for blood.
Okay, da ist nichts.
What will London have to say to me? I've so many questions unanswered. Another corpse. Have the very streets of London become a mausoleum? The man has been drained of all blood, but I can still smell the scent of it. I follow the scent's trail. Perhaps it will lead me to my assailant. Fresh blood. The smell is so strong. Where has everyone gone? According to the blood patterns, that's where the victim was attacked. So that must be the killer's trail.
Okay, da könnte man noch verschiedene Sachen herstellen. Mhm. Ah, kann ich aber jetzt noch nicht viel machen. Oder genau genommen noch gar nichts. Ob ich jetzt das machen kann? Mit der Schusswaffe. Für Stufe 2. Nee, doch für Stufe 2. Brauche ich 3 Teile eines gewöhnlichen Abzugs und 7 und 2 Federn. Okay. Ah. Ja, Gesundheit. Bescheid. Kann ich mehr Blut nehmen. Uh. glaube, ich nehme doch erstmal Gesundheit.
That's strange. The trail is very erratic, as if the killer was drunk or hesitant.
Mhm.
At last, a little life.
Not long ago, this sort of mess would have given me a laugh.
Good evening, sir. I wondered if I could ask for your help.
Wow, you look like you need a drink.
Yes. I apologize for my outfit. It's been a
So
long
kann man das als Zuschauer sehen.
Been there, seen that. Don't worry, things can only get worse.
Has anybody entered the bar recently?
Can't say. Sorry. I spent the night making love to that gorgeous bottle, see?
This is important, sir. Are you sure no one has come in here in the last few hours?
I don't know and I don't care. This is a free country. People still have the right to come and go, don't they?
What's going on around here? It's like everybody is hiding.
You must be new here. Have you not heard about the murders? Everybody fears the return of the sewer dog.
Who is this sewer dog?
It's the local bogeyman. Convenient answer for every crime that happened for decades. You murdered someone, blame the sewer dog, eh?
You make it sound like it's a fairy tale.
People will always believe in monsters. It's easier than accepting their own darkness. We can all be monsters.
I'll leave you to your bottle then.
Kurz, Moment, ich muss da was So, geht jeden Moment weiter. Ich rauche noch eine Zigarette fertig. Und dann geht's sofort los. Beziehungsweise das Befragen kann ich auch so machen. Hey, hallo? Ach schon, jetzt wird die Musik nicht ausgehen.
Oh, God, sir. You look like Jonah's whale just spat you out of hell. Can I get you a drink?
No, thank you. I'm not.
Diese Art von Durst.
Grab a chair and get some rest. This is gonna be another long night.
Where am I? Where is this place?
You're at my bar, sir, the Turquoise Turtle. The last ray of light in this dangerous part of town.
Irgendwas stimmt da gerade mit meinem Dings nicht. Sorry, ich muss doch nochmal pausieren. Tut mir echt leid. Einen Moment. Das muss ich erst wieder fangen. So, hat sich wohl gefangen.
Aren't you scared?
Scared of what? All the bad shit happens out on the foggy streets. And I never go outside.
Irgendwas stimmt mit meinem Chat hier gerade nicht. Das sollte nämlich eigentlich nicht sein, dass da Sternchen auftauchen. Nee, das sollte nicht sein. Notfalls muss ich das Ding mit dem Bot wieder abschalten und gucken, was da los ist irgendwann mal. Also, in dem Fall.
So you're
Später.
open all night.
Yep. Figured people might need a place to rest in these dark times.
Willst du da noch sehen?
Why is it going to be a long night?
You must be new around here. Don't you know about the murders?
Tell me more about these murders.
Every morning for the last few weeks, bodies have been found. And those poor sods didn't die of flu.
Um 21:31 war das noch in Ordnung, auf einmal fing das an.
Do the police have any leads on a suspect?
Even before the outbreak, coppers never came round here. We're on our own. People die in these parts all the time, and no one cares.
I'm looking for someone who might have passed through here recently. Wondered if you might help.
It's been quiet tonight. The only other person I've seen went straight up to his room. Thought it was kind of rude, actually.
You mean he's still here?
Well, yeah. He paid for the entire week.
Who is this man? What does he look like?
Well, like a gentleman, I guess. Well dressed, quite polite. A professor or something fancy like that. Always writing, reading notes.
How long has he been here?
He rented the room a few days ago and didn't say when he'd leave.
I need to meet this man. I have questions.
Just climb the stairs and knock on the first door. I heard him open his window, so I guess he's still awake. And,
Yes?
no funny business, you hear me? This is a respectable establishment.
Hello, sir. Are you all right? Is there any way I can help you?
I don't know. Maybe you could just talk to me.
Maybe you prefer to speak with Tom, then. He's more agreeable talking to strangers.
What is this place?
This is Tom's bar, a turquoise turtle. I'm the barmaid here, Sabrina, if you want to know.
Are you always open this late at night?
No, it's only since the epidemic started. Tom thought that people may need a safe place to stay.
You don't seem to have much business. Where is everybody?
Well, most people are sleeping right now. And those that are awake tend to avoid going out. What with the murders and all.
What's going on around here? Where is everyone?
Too many dead, sir. First the epidemic, and now all these terrible murders.
The murders. What can you say about them?
Bodies found in the streets every morning. Drained of blood. It's just horrible. Some say the sewer dog is back.
The sewer dog? What's that?
No one knows. People have always disappeared around these parts. The ancients say it's the sewer dog coming out to feed. But now he's killing in the streets.
What have you heard about the epidemic?
There's a Spanish flu. Yeah, killed so many last summer. Thought we'd seen the last of it. Dozens dying every week.
Are the authorities doing anything?
Nothing. There are so many quarantine zones in London now. It's gotten really hard to travel across town.
I just want to talk. I didn't mean to scare you.
I'm not afraid, sir. It's just I've other customers to take care of.
I only see one customer.
Oh. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I best check on them.
I'll leave then. Thank you.
I should just run as far away from this place as I can.
Dann muss ich wohl erst von nach oben. Ich glaube, da komme ich ja später irgendwann mal hin.
This is no place for you. Prewen has several patrols roaming the area.
They do not pursue me.
But they're looking for vampires, and they're most efficient.
They'll not relent until the killer has been identified.
I have a common objective, but I require...
I think some...
Sorry.
You might as well come in, whoever you are.
Slowly, vampire. Who are you? I mean you no harm, saith the vampire. Present yourself.
I need a word with anyone.
Well, that's something I can do for you. And who might you be?
Mhm.
Who are you?
First, tell me what you want. Then I may tell you.
That's none of your concern.
Sir, you have entered my room in the middle of the night, pale as a corpse and shaking like a tree. So please, indulge me.
Someone is molesting people. In fact, killing them. Biting them.
The calling card of a vampire. Like you.
I've been hunted down in the streets and attacked. I'm a victim here too.
I believe you.
Then if you are not a vampire, who or what are you?
Dr. Edgar Swansea of the Brotherhood of St. Paul. I'm performing an independent investigation here in an attempt to understand precisely what is going on.
And what exactly is this Brotherhood?
Sir, if the name is not familiar to you, then we shall discuss it another time.
I heard another voice, that of a woman. Who were you talking to?
Ridiculous. I've no idea what you're talking about.
Something tells me not to trust you.
Then the feeling is mutual.
What have you uncovered concerning the murders?
It started a few nights ago. Rumors of violent murders. The docks have always been, shall we say, somewhat unsavory. But this is different.
How different?
A vampire is at work here. Famished. Reckless. It must be brought to ground, and quickly.
Then help me find the culprit.
I may. If you'll first tell me why you opened this door.
I followed a trail. The scent of blood from
Okay, es stimmt immer noch nicht.
led me here.
Ich weiß nicht, was da los ist, warum da auf einmal Sternchen auftauchen.
We're both chasing the same shadow.
Perhaps. This is all new to me. I'm not even certain what I'm looking for.
You should let me handle this affair. You've no idea what you're up against.
No. I will find the monster. He is mine.
How will you do any better than I? But then let me ask you this. What are your intentions if you find the killer?
I will at last have the answers to my questions.
Then I can only wish you good hunting. And pray we shall meet again.
Muss gleich mal den Chatbot nochmal überprüfen. Nee, definitiv was nicht stimmt. Okay, Waffe 10 kann steht drin nicht.
If Swansea is not my attacker, it means somebody else came here tonight. Someone must know something.
It's a good thing you can.
Evening, sir. Can I help you?
I have a few questions for you.
Well, if you must.
I spoke to Dr. Swansea. He's not the man I'm looking for. Now, I want the truth.
The truth? What do you mean?
I suspect that someone else was here tonight, and I don't think Tom wants to tell me about it.
I'm just the barmaid here, okay? If Tom says you're the only visitor we had, then you're the only visitor we had.
I can feel your fear, madam. Please, tell me what's going on.
It's Will. William Bishop. He came in here earlier tonight and Well, I thought he was going to clock someone.
Why are you so afraid?
I mean, his skin, his hands. I scrubbed every glass and every chair that he touched. God, I hope it's not contagious.
What happened tonight?
He was dead drunk as usual. But my God, his eyes, his face. He must have caught something awful. He shouted and cried. It was terrible.
Tell me about this William Bishop.
Will was a sailor who worked at the cannon factory before he lost that job. A nice bloke, really. He's never been violent. Until tonight.
Why keep it a secret? Why not tell me about it?
Tom's nothing if not loyal. After Will lost his job, he offered him one ear. They used to be good mates. But recently, well, Will started to get very aggressive.
I see. Thank you for your candor. I'll be sure to talk to Tom.
Hm. Hm? Hm.
Not long ago, this sort of mess would have given me a...
Hello, sir. May I disturb you again?
And you're still ugly as sin.
Okay, go.
I'll leave you to your...
Nichts Neues.
Welcome back. Did you find what you were after?
I can't say I have. Are you sure no one else came into your bar before I arrived?
Hey, I told you, you were the only other stranger I've had.
Tom, talk to me about the visit from your old friend, William.
Yes, Will came by tonight, but he's not my friend anymore.
Who is he?
William? Just an old sailor who loves his gin too much. He worked for years at the cannon factory before it closed.
Is he dangerous?
Yeah, like many drunks, he's all bark and no bite. He can barely stand up most of the time.
How was he tonight? Was he different?
Sicker than usual, perhaps. He whined and mumbled about how mean people were to him and how he'd like to talk to me outside, and then he left when I refused.
Ja, das wird ein Glück, würde ich behaupten.
Why lie to me if he is not your friend?
I didn't lie. I said you were my only unannounced customer, and that's the truth.
I need to find him. It's a matter of urgency. Do you know where he is?
You could try his boat. It's up by the North Pier. He sleeps there when he's too drunk to get home.
Please describe him to me.
What'd you expect? He's a tall, sick bastard with a bad rash and torn old clothes. William used to be strong. Now he's a mess.
Thank you, Tom.
If you see him, tell him I don't want him back here unless he cleans up his act, okay?
He didn't deserve this.
Damn it. I think drink no longer stirs me.
I will get to the bottom of this intrigue. What's been done to me? To this city?
Die Boote. Da. Ja. Hm.
body is still warm. This man has just been drained of blood. What's this? Some sort of note. These men, they're a company of professional vampire hunters. This man was armed. He tried to defend himself. This corpse has been dried of its blood, just like the previous victim. Blood and empty gin bottles. This Bishop fellow is something of a heavy drinker. There are blood splats on the other side of the canal. I must reach that barge.
Gut, einer weniger.
Ammunition crate. Good. I may need a lot of bullets. I feel like I'm back on the front line again.
I'd step back, sir. Over there! There's one...
Dann was mitbekommen? Nicht so. Das so bleibt auch so. Okay. Widerstand gegen Nahkampf anscheinend, oder wie? Ne, rot heißt Widerstand. Okay, Mittel und Orange, okay. Also Fernkampf hält er gut aus. Was er nicht sehr gut sehr mag, ist, finde ich, ein Sauger und irgendwas mit Schatten. Lief jetzt nicht ganz so. Ähm,
That's this nest of them cleaned out. Stop right now! That's this nest of them cleaned out.
ja.
Over there! There's one of them burning!
Ah, jetzt.
Mind his teeth! Oh, Christ! You'll pay for that! What's it? It's a killer!
Ups, das hatte ich jetzt nicht vor. Muss mich erstmal wieder dran gewöhnen. Und das ist schlecht, weil ich mich, soweit ich weiß, gleich noch einen Kampf vor mir habe. Also ist das mit dem Gewöhnen vielleicht doch etwas schneller. Hier liegt was. Nehmen. Da drehe ich um.
Over there!
Da unten ist noch einer. Warum? Hast du denn... Okay. Kann ich was basteln? Eine Waffen. Die nicht. Die auch nicht. Bitte? Okay, okay. Da liegt noch ein bisschen Geld. Wollen wir mal gucken. Hm.
That's this nest of them cleaned out. Over there! I like their screams when you burn them alive.
Okay. Sind sie wieder da? Da liegt was auf dem Boden. Da blinkt auch was. Alter. Egal. Dann eben nicht.
Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy.
Ja. Das machen wir auch sofort.
This place reeks of bloodshed.
William, my arm. I can't feel it.
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
Whoop. Gut, bin alles tot.
William, please.
William ist tot. Da ist noch eine Kiste, da ist noch was drin. Umschauen.
Let me go.
Das sind noch ein paar Schillinge. Das sind noch ein paar Schillinge.
I forgive you. The Lord is my shepherd. William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
I knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Jetzt ist er wirklich tot.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by Skal?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You were from the bar. Are you like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders. Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed his drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me. This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood. Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... Who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it! I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again. From a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Of that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this... affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed, and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy?
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
Oh, kurzer Break.
Doctor!
Rotten or pristine, each heart contains the seed of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. Me guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
Whoa, I feel giddy.
Hätte ihn aussaugen können. Aber ich bin mal brav.
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go, but no famished hunter can run for long.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy? A poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them? Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Hurry now, Doctor. It's freezing here. I'm not one to make wait, Doctor. I've patients to attend. This is no time to stop. Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Prague spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first. What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Another night with the glorious battalion of Pembroke.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything. And it's getting worse every day.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing in. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital? That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what
Jetzt geht's wieder, anscheinend. Okay. Das ist Verkaufen gerade gewesen, das ist Kaufen. Ja, vielleicht irgendwann mal.
Following me.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You're right. When dealing with such a terrible disease, one must remain humble. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try our best.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Mhm.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Cadogan fellow.
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No, we must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more unto the breach.
Your attitude is irresponsible, Doctor. Believe me, I've seen so many medical errors caused by exhaustion during the war.
You're right. This is a war, Dr. Reed, and I don't intend to surrender.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office down again.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Another night with the glorious battalion of Pembroke.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Goodbye, Milton.
Another night of the glorious battalion.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Why does Dr. Tippett's claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance. Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research. Good evening, sir.
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Damn. The pain. It's here again.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it?
Oh, Sora, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers' trade union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest, and then I can go back to the people who need me.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks, and I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust
blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard's syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover to hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
I wonder what your last thoughts would be, sir.
I wonder why the Goswicks came here in the first place.
Street corner.
Mhm. Okay.
The daily routine. Dr. Reed.
How close are you to Miss Horcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of my blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Damn. The pain.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft.
Here again.
How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Tell me, Thelma, why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood? Why him?
I'm not sure, Doctor. I think we have a bond of some sort. We've both suffered so much. He's the only mortal I find interesting.
Do you plan to make him a vampire too?
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody else? I'm not that cruel, Doctor.
Would you say you and Mr. Elwood are romantically involved?
No. No, Thomas is a delicate soul. Even though he disguises it. But I am not the woman he needs. No, for I am a vampire, Doctor.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
I wonder what your last thoughts would be, sir.
It's locked, all right.
So many deaths. Still more coming. How can we be sure we're making a difference? Sweet girl. Never
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
Scheiße.
Tell me something about yourself.
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about...
Hey, Carter, bist du am Ausflippen?
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time. Goodbye, Dr. Strickland. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable, and your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on the site. Difference is, I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Helen. As for me, I'm an idiot.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Any news about my operation?
You seem worried about the safety of your family. And it's obviously the reason why your wound troubles you so much.
I cannot give up on my children now. They both need me living.
What about their mother, if I may ask?
She died in 1915 during one of the first Zeppelin raids. We never found her body.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army, building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Helen. As for me, I'm an idiot.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick. Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured, you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed.
But in the circumstances,
it's my mother.
I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Nee, sie war das nicht gewesen. Glaube ich.
Thank you, Nurse Crane. Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Ja?
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
War deine Schwester gehört?
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Goodbye, Nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
And what of my own life?
You are going to reveal all your secrets to me, even the darkest thoughts in your heart.
My blood and soul. They belong to you now.
The life running in your veins. This dead flesh.
Good
needs
evening,
it.
Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Das ist die, die das Geld macht. Aber lassen wir gut sein. Ey, Carter, du flippst schon wieder aus. Na gut, machen wir erstmal hier das mit dem Büro.
It's locked. This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin. Achso, das war wegen der Klamotten, Mann. War ich gerade irritiert. William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now. If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
So. Ja, machen wir nämlich mal Feierabend. Also, eine gute Nacht und bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao, ciao.